I'm here in Branson at Wise Wolf, the coolest place ever. We've got to tell you all about it. I'm here with the owners, Tony and Beans. Now, who really owns this place, Tony?
Well, it depends on the day. It depends on how I'm feeling, but usually Beans is in control. I just do all the admin stuff. This is Beans the Brave. She's a 5-year-old Chihuahua mix from the mean streets of San Antonio. We adopted her when we were in San Antonio. Now she lives on a mountain in the Ozarks.
I love it. Beans the Brave, that is fantastic. She'll always welcome you in. So tell us about this place. What all do you do here?
Well, if it has to do with precious metals, pretty much everything. Gold and silver, buying, selling, it could be jewelries, bars, anything, bullion, you name it, coins. We buy, also sell here. It's a full service exchange.
You are a wise wolf. Why do you suppose you started this business? This is pretty important in this day and time, wouldn't you say?
Well, absolutely. I mean, if you look at statistics, like 80% of all the currency, U.S. currency ever made was made in the last 36 months. And so from the founding of our country until 2020, we've made 80% more of all the dollars ever created.
That is hard to even
That's what
get
inflation
around.
is all about.
That's inflation. Okay, so what is going to be worth something?
Well, gold and silver have always been money. From the first part of recorded history, gold and silver have been money. Fiat currencies is what we have now. That's your paper dollar. Fiat means by decree. So it's just, they say it has value, so it's supposed to. Psychologically, we see it has value. Our country was built on sound money. It was built on gold and silver coinage, and that lasted until about 1933. Franklin Roosevelt made it illegal for you to personally own gold. As you turn in your gold coins, that was a $20 gold piece, about an ounce of gold, which is worth about $1,800 today.
Wow.
Again, followed up by 1971, Richard Nixon takes us off the gold standard, August 15th, 1971. Since that time, and by the way, gold was $35 an ounce in 1971.
What is it now?
Last time I checked, it was right at $1,800 an ounce.
And you know, that sounds like a lot if you are going to buy gold, but that's just going to keep going up.
Well, theoretically, it's supposed to. There's a lot of strangeness in the markets today, but, and I don't think gold has really gone up, per se. Gold usually keeps a steady value throughout history. The same amount of gold buys about the same amount of food or clothes that it did in 1933.
Right.
The difference now is that the dollar's lost value. So what you have in a gold and silver exchange is we stay really constant. If you need to turn in your gold and silver items, we pay market value for those.
Okay, so let me ask you how that goes. Like if somebody had some loose change they wanted to go through, or maybe even some jewelry, could they bring it in and let you go through it, and would you pay them what it's worth? Is that how it works?
Absolutely, yeah, and it's just, it's not a magic trick. That's one of the reasons I started this business, is because I liked the history of gold and silver coinage. I loved looking at old coins and looking at the value and the history of money. But when I'd go into shops, a lot of times, if they felt like you didn't know what you were doing, right, they would see how much you knew before they would make you an offer.
Right.
And I just did the same thing across the board for everybody. I was just on a talk show a couple of nights ago, and they said, "Do you have a minimum?" And I said, "Absolutely not, to buy, or to sell." Because I've been that. I've been the other person on the side of the counter that's just trying to figure out what's going on.
You want to be fair.
Absolutely.
Even if people don't know what you know, you want to be fair.
Right.
And I know you're going to be doing a lot of things. There's something that you're going to do called mining. These are just things that are coming up that we want people to know about.
Right. So there's a term called urban gold mining, and what that really goes back to is during a time when gold and silver are going up, and really gold's starting its climb back up right now. Back in, I think, March, we broke 2,000 an ounce. People will start going and finding garage sales, estate sales. They'll go through their old jewelry boxes for broken jewelry, and they'll start turning that gold into cash. And that's one of the things that we provide as a service, in real time, getting cash in your hand and fair value for any of your metals, and it's just all about the weights, how much you have.
So how fun is that, guys? Checking out the garage sales, checking out what you've got or what you have inherited, bring it into Tony and Beans, and they'll tell you what it's worth. How can people get more information?
You can go to wisewolfgoldandsilver.com. That's our website. We have a couple of different numbers. There's a toll-free number that you can actually text. It's on the website. That'll go direct to my cell phone. But we're also just here in Branson. You can walk in anytime.
All right. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Thanks, Beans. This is great stuff. I love it. I could talk to Tony for hours. He's so
Yes, you could.
interesting.
He
He
is very
knows
interesting.
so much about what's going on. We were
He does.
just talking if you had added gold and silver to your portfolio. They tell you to do that all the time, you know.
It's a very wise move.
Wise Wolf tells you so.
Wise Wolf tells you so. That's right. I've actually added bronze as well to my portfolio.
Do tell me about that.
Yes, I'll tell you. It's a secret. I'll tell you a little more about it at the beginning of the year. But
Is that very, how is bronze?
it has
is it
no
going
worth.
up?
It has no worth at all.
Okay.
And that's why I have so much of it.
No, but Tony's a great guy,
Yes, he
and
is.
his little dog Beans is so cute. But you know, if you want to talk about what's going on in the world and how to help yourself out, and if you've got some of that, what do they call it, junk change or whatever you got to go through, you know, you can find some things that are worth quite a bit. of
Yes,
money.
you can.
Tony can
That's
help
a great
you out
idea.
with that too.
Wise Wolf.
Bronze. I'll look into that. Okay.
You should.
Yeah.
You should. It's a great idea.
Okay.
If you need help with it, let me know.
I will, Nate. Thank you. Okay, guys, we'll be back right after this. There you go.